What if the soul-shaking intensity you call a twin flame runner isn't running from you at all, but from the tectonic revelation your presence forces them to confront within themselves? Let's cut through the spiritual sugarcoating, that exquisite ache, the synchronicities that feel like cosmic winks, the way their absence carves canyons in your peace. You've been told it's about fear of love, fear of commitment, fear of you. But what if the deepest terror lives one layer deeper, in the place where their ego's fortress crumbles before their own soul's undeniable sovereignty? Picture this. A master violinist spends decades perfecting others' compositions, hiding behind technical brilliance until they hear your rhythm. Not because you play for them, but because your very existence is a tuning fork vibrating at the frequency of their forgotten authenticity. Suddenly, the sheet music they've relied on, meaningless scribbles, the applause they chased, empty noise. That's the runner's secret crisis. Your resonance isn't just attractive, it's acoustically exposing the song they buried alive within themselves. You've felt it, haven't you? That uncanny sense you're holding up a mirror to something they refuse to see. Not their flaws, their exiled magnificence, the creativity they labeled impractical, the tenderness they armored as weakness, the spiritual authority they dismissed as woo. Every time they ran, they weren't fleeing your light. They were sprinting from the shadow of their own untamed wholeness, the very wholeness your energy relentlessly reflects back at them. This isn't romance, it's sacred archaeology. You're the unexpected tremor that shakes loose the artifacts of their disowned self. And their epiphany, the moment they finally see you as their twin flame, isn't a whispered, "I choose you." It's a thunderous, "Oh God, I've been betraying myself." This ache isn't punishment, it's initiation. You're not waiting for a hesitant lover, you're midwifing a sovereign's rebirth. And the most radical truth, their awakening was never your responsibility. It's your invitation to stop measuring your worth in their footsteps and start dancing in the revelation of your own unshakable resonance. But what happens when the violinist finally picks up their own composition? The moment their fingers touch the strings of self-reclamation changes everything. For them, for you, for the very fabric of your connection. You've felt the ache, the cosmic itch, the frustrating, beautiful, maddening pull towards someone who seems determined to sprint in the opposite direction, dragging their heels through every dimension of resistance. We call them the runner, and we talk endlessly about their fear. Fear of love, fear of engulfment, fear of the past, fear of you. But what if I told you the deepest terror isn't of you at all? What if the final battle isn't fought on the field of relationship, but within the citadel of their own being? That the epiphany, the sacred shift when they finally see you as their twin flame, is less about them bowing to your presence and more about them surrendering to the undeniable, thrumming authority of their own damn soul. Think of it like this. Imagine a knight clad in armor polished to a blinding sheen by years of rationalization, carefully constructed narratives, and expertly defended independence. This armor isn't just protection, it's their identity. It's the "I control my destiny" suit. They've charged into life, slaying dragons of vulnerability with the sword of logic, dismissing inconvenient synchronicities as coincidence, explaining away the electric pull in your presence as mere chemistry or bad timing. They've built a fortress of I know best, but then you happen. You, this inexplicable force. You mirror not just their light, but the flaws in their armor. You reflect back the very truths their carefully constructed ego narrative has spent a lifetime denying. Your existence, your persistent, unwavering knowing, becomes like water seeping into the joints of that armor. It rusts the hinges. It makes the metal groan under its own weight. This is where the real terror begins. It's not the fear of holding your hand. It's the vertigo-inducing terror of realizing the map they've been navigating by. The map labeled, "My rational understanding of reality," is fundamentally, catastrophically wrong. The epiphany that you are their twin flame isn't just an admission of a profound connection to you. It's the shattering realization that their own inner compass, that quiet, persistent voice they've been diligently ignoring, rationalizing away, or drowning out with noise, work, distraction, other relationships, running, was screaming the truth all along. That voice is their soul, and recognizing you forces them, finally, to acknowledge its sovereignty. This surrender isn't meek. It's not a gentle laying down of arms. It's the collapse of an internal regime. It's the ego, that stubborn commander-in-chief, finally admitting defeat after a long, brutal siege waged by their own higher consciousness. Picture it. The command center is in chaos. Reports are flooding in, undeniable synchronicities stacking up like unread urgent memos, dreams that feel more real than waking life, that persistent ache in the chest that no amount of distance or distraction truly silences. And you, your energy, your growth, your unwavering resonance, acting like a constant, undeniable homing beacon. The ego scrambles, barks orders, ignore the data, dismiss the feeling, run further, blame them. But the soul's signal cuts through the static, louder, clearer, more insistent. This is truth. This is purpose. This is US. The epiphany is the moment the commander throws down the headset. It's the visceral, often shocking moment where they realize they've been fighting not you, but the very fabric of their own divine blueprint. They weren't running from you. They were running from the irrevocable authority of their soul, which had already chosen this path, this connection, this terrifying, magnificent expansion. Recognizing you as the twin is the ultimate admission slip. My soul knows something my mind couldn't grasp, and fighting it is exhausting, futile, and ultimately a rejection of my own deepest self. It's the ego's final humbling bow to the soul's throne. This shift, it's seismic. It cracks them open, not for you, but to themselves. Suddenly, the source of guidance isn't solely the chattering, fearful mind or the well-worn patterns of the past. It's that deep, resonant inner knowing they've finally stopped arguing with. They surrender not to you, but through you to the divine intelligence operating within their own being. This is where true spiritual autonomy blossoms. Not independence from connection, but independence rooted in their connection to Source, finally acknowledged. They stop demanding the universe and you conform to their limited egoic map and start learning to navigate by the stars of their own soul. It's terrifyingly liberating. Like jumping out of a perfectly good airplane that was actually flying in circles and discovering you have wings you never dared believe in. It's messy. It's raw. It might look like stunned silence, a flood of tears that seems to come from the center of the earth, or even a temporary retreat inwards as they process this internal earthquake. Don't mistake this for more running. This is sacred regrouping. This is the night finally taking off the heavy, ill-fitting armor, standing bare and vulnerable on the battlefield, realizing the true power was never in the metal, but in the heart beating beneath it, finally listening to its own rhythm. So when the runner has their epiphany, understand this. The light dawning in their eyes isn't just recognition of you. It's the dawning of their own soul's authority, finally embraced. It's the end of a civil war within them. And that surrender? That's the fertile ground from which everything truly new for them, and potentially for the connection, can finally grow. It's not about them choosing you. It's about them finally choosing themselves at the deepest, most authentic level, which inherently includes the truth of your connection. The armor's off. The real journey begins. But here's the twist that might just change everything you thought you knew about waiting. What happens after that armor clatters to the ground? The surrender is profound, but it's just the doorway. What awaits them and what it means for you is a journey into a landscape far wilder and more transformative than mere reunion, ready to see what lies beyond the epiphany. Let's talk about the mirror. Not the one on your bathroom wall, but the one made of soul stuff staring back at you from across the coffee shop. The text thread, the decades-old memory. That moment the runner sees you, oh, it's seismic. But here's the cosmic curveball everyone misses. That flash of recognition isn't just about you. It's the universe holding up a funhouse mirror to every shattered, hidden, and disowned piece of themselves they've spent a lifetime sprinting from. This epiphany, it's less, oh, it's them, and more, oh God, this is what I've been running from, inside me. You know those Russian nesting dolls? The ones hiding tinier versions inside? The runner's psyche works like that, but in reverse. Over the years, they've carefully packed away parts of themselves they deemed too messy, too vulnerable, too powerful, too needy, too much. Stuff that didn't fit the persona they built for survival. Maybe it was childhood wounds, whispering, don't trust, or societal pressures shouting, be strong, not soft, or past heartbreaks decreeing, never show that depth again. These exiled fragments, they didn't vanish. They went underground, lurking, waiting. And then you showed up. You became the living, breathing projection screen. That fierce independence they admired and maybe resented a little in you. That was their own buried autonomy screaming to be reclaimed. Your deep emotional expression that unnerved them, that was their own stifled vulnerability pounding on the door of their heart. Your unshakable knowing about the connection. That mirrored the intuitive voice they'd silenced years ago. You weren't just reflecting their light. You were holding up a spotlight to their shadow basement, the place where they'd shoved everything they couldn't bear to acknowledge. The runner's epiphany is the ultimate come to self moment. It's the terrifying, liberating realization. My twin flame isn't my missing half. They're the mirror showing me all the halves of myself I threw away. Seeing you clearly as their twin forces an unavoidable confrontation with their own fragmented wholeness. It's like walking into a room lined floor to ceiling with mirrors after living in the dark for years. Suddenly, every angle, every flaw, every buried beauty is inescapable. There's nowhere to hide, especially not from the parts they abandoned. This isn't a gentle stroll down memory lane. It's a gutsy, often gritty, excavation project. It means facing the wounded child who learned to armor up. It means embracing the fierce creative spirit they labeled too much. It means forgiving the parts that made mistakes, that felt weak, that needed. It's reclaiming the power they gave away, the voice they quieted, the dreams they archived as unrealistic. This is sacred self-reclamation, gathering the scattered mosaic pieces of their soul and realizing they were never broken, just brilliantly, complexly dispersed. This inner reunion must happen before any lasting outer union can truly blossom. Why? Because trying to build a divine connection while half your soul is still locked in the basement is like trying to build a cathedral on quicksand. The runner's sudden urge to withdraw after the Epiphany. It's often not more running from you. It's a necessary sacred retreat into themselves. It's them sitting on the floor of their inner world, surrounded by all these reclaimed soul shards, whispering, "Okay, now how do I put me back together?" When the runner has their moment of recognition, understand this profound shift. Their eyes aren't just seeing you, they're finally seeing the reflection of their own wholeness they'd forgotten, feared, or forsaken. This epiphany is the ultimate wake-up call to selfhood. It's the end of the outer chase and the beginning of the most vital inner journey they'll ever take. Their return isn't just a path back to you, it's the courageous walk home to themselves. And that's where the real magic, the sustainable, soul-deep union, truly begins to take root. Not in completion by another, but in the glorious, imperfect completion of oneself. But what happens when those reclaimed pieces feel unfamiliar, even frightening? How does the runner navigate the disorienting, dazzling landscape of becoming whole? The journey after the mirror cracks open is where the true alchemy begins. So you've navigated the ache of the unknown, the silence of the runner's avoidance, the cosmic tease of almost. You've dissected synchronicities like a sacred scientist and wept into pillows that held more of your prayers than feathers. But here's what the well-worn twin flame scripts won't tell you. The runner's epiphany isn't the finale. It's the first tremor of a seismic self-rebirth that transforms both of you. When runner finally see you as their twin flame, it's not a confession whispered to you. It's a vow spoken to the mirror of their soul. They aren't returning to complete you. They're stumbling home to reconcile the fragmented kingdom of themselves. And you're the unexpected cartographer who held the map while they were lost in their own wilderness. This is where the fairy tale dissolves into sacred geometry. The runner's recognition isn't a romantic crescendo. It's a soul quake. It shatters the illusion that love exists out there. Instead, it reveals love as an internal frequency they'd been muffling beneath layers of fear, logic, and borrowed identities. For example, a musician spends years playing covers, mimicking others' rhythms, until one day they hear their own melody in your presence. And it terrifies them, because originality demands courage. Authenticity requires surrender. And suddenly, the instrument they've been holding, it's their own raw, unedited being. The moment they recognize you is the moment they recognize the divinity in their own reflection, not as a half, but as a hologram of the whole. For you, the steadfast one, this epiphany rewrites your role entirely. You're no longer the lighthouse guiding them back. You're the witness to their self-illumination. Your endurance wasn't about waiting for them. It was about anchoring a truth so potent it became undeniable. Love isn't found, it's remembered. And in that remembering, the runner doesn't choose you. They choose the version of themselves capable of holding space for miracles. So, where does this leave you? Holding a paradox, lighter yet more rooted than ever. You've learned that twin flames aren't about fusing two broken halves, but igniting two sovereign suns whose light creates a new spectrum. The runner's awakening isn't your validation, it's your invitation to release the old story of separation, to stop measuring your worth in their footsteps, to realize you were never waiting, you were evolving, and if they retreat again, don't mistake it for regression. After the epiphany comes the integration, a silent, solitary alchemy where they learn to breathe in their newfound wholeness. Like a star collapsing to give birth to light, they need the darkness to reconfigure. Your task isn't to chase or fix, it's to trust the gravity of their journey, while orbiting your own brilliance unapologetically.